Hello, we're here to do devotion time here at Temple Baptist Church. I want to look at two verses. We'll see if we get through both of them at this setting. If not, it'll be a follow-up. I want to title it Looking to Jesus. You find it in Hebrews chapter 12, the first two verses there. And so let me read those, and then we'll go back up and look at verse 1 and see where we're at. It says, "Wherefore, seeing we're also compassed about with so great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that does so easily beset us. Let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God." It would begin here then by saying, "Wherefore we are compassed about with so great cloud of witnesses." My tiding under that is the power of hope in Christ, the debatable things of life. I've heard it been said, those great cloud of witnesses, of two different ways. As we can look at Hebrews chapter 11, that whole list of those that were in the faith, all the way back from Abraham, as it would say that when they talk about them, that they were desiring a better country, heavenly, wherefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for it prepared for them a city. And so by faith, Abraham, when he offered up Isaac, even when he would go to the land that God promised, all the way from Ur, the Chaldees, to the promised land, all the way through. Let me read you the last part of chapter 11. Whom through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant in fight, turned to flight the armies of aliens. Women received their dead raised to life again. Others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection. Others had trials of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonments. They were stoned, they were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, and tormented, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and in caves of the earth. All of these, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise." These witnesses, then, some have said they're in that grandstand in heaven watching us as we continue to run our race down here. I don't know about that. I figure God's got them doing plenty other things. I also know that we have a cloud of witnesses around you. Once you share with somebody that you are a child of God, how you run your race. May you run it well, as they indeed are watching to see if you stumble, or when the trials of life happen to you, how you handle it and how you bear it. Remember that God is faithful, will not let you go through anything that you're not able, that He'll make a way to escape it so you can be able to bear it. 1 Corinthians 10:13. Let's look at this first verse a little more closer. It says that we are compassed about so great cloud of witnesses. Let us lay aside every weight and the sin that does so easily beset us. Had a friend in high school that did cross country, and he would always take those ankle weights and put them around his ankles and wear them every day to school as he would walk however many miles that it was. And when it came time for race day, that he would take those off, and it would seem that the air would lift him up, and more generally his legs weren't heavy. It takes us kind of that understanding then that it's sin that makes us heavy, that slows us down, that we need to cast it aside so that we can run this race, the race of faith, with patience. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 39 would read this way to you: "But we are not of those who draw back into perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of our soul." The verse before it, "Therefore the just shall live by faith." That is how we are to run this race. Ephesians chapter 2, or chapter 4 rather, verse 22. reads that indeed you put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which able indeed to corrupt according to deceitful lust, but be renewed in the spirit of your mind, that you put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. That's the race that we're supposed to run in that way. One other verse for you, 1 Corinthians chapter 9. In verse 24 would read, now you know that they which run in a race run all, but only one receive the prize. So run so that you may obtain it. That's how we're supposed to do then. Run with patience, truly endurance, the race that God has set before you. And indeed, as it will teach us in verse 2, looking into Jesus, who is the author and finisher of our faith. If you will, look up part 2 of Looking to Jesus, and we'll finish these thoughts as we continue with this study of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 and verse 2. Thank you.